There you have it, Cheeky Richo's lamb and vegetable stew.
Hi, and welcome to Cheeky Richo's lamb stew. This one pot dinner is rich and satisfying, full of flavour, full of vegetables, nutritious and delicious. It looks a lot of ingredients, but it's very simple to do and benefits from a very long, slow cooking time. You could of course cook this the day before and store it in the refrigerator and heat it up during the week when you get home from work. The flavours will develop and it'll be even more delicious. The ingredients will be in the recipe box below. So let's get started. The first thing we are going to do is prep all of our vegetables. So that's peel and dice our vegetables. Then we are going to bone out our lamb griller chops, or just our lamb chops. Retain the bones but dispose of all of the fat. You do not need to eat the fat, but the bones will have flavour in them that will be imparting marrowbone and other flavours during the cooking process. They won't be served with the meal, they'll be removed at the end of the cooking time. They will have served their purpose by then. So on to prepping our vegetables. Okay, all of our vegetables have been prepped, chopped roughly about a 1.5 to 2 centimetre dice, all roughly the same size. Now we're going to get a plastic bag and put our flour into our plastic bag and get our lamb chops that have been completely boned and cut into about 1 centimetre dice. And all the fat, what you see there white, is mostly just sinew. Leave that there because that'll be quite gelatinous and sticky and make the meat really succulent. So we're going to put that into the plastic bag as well. Hopefully the bag won't have a hole in it. Give it a good shake and a good massage to ensure all of those pieces are in contact with the flour. Just squeeze it onto it. This will also impart some thickening to our stew as the vegetables sweat down. Keep it going just like so. Give it a good rub through. There's no need to put any seasoning in the flour at this stage. If it wasn't going into such a highly flavoured stock, it would probably pay you to put some salt or pepper or some other herbs or spices in there. But you can also always add those later as well. So, after doing that, this is what you should have. Little single pieces of meat, all completely coated in their own flour. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is put a high-sided pan over a high heat and add our vegetable oil and our roughly chopped bacon. This will impart a delicious flavour into the meat. Give that a little swish around. Once it's started to sizzle properly, we're going to add our pieces of lamb that have been dredged with flour. Now our bacon is popping hot now and has rendered some of the fat out of the bacon. This will only add to the flavour. So in all at once with our little cubes of meat and any flour that's left in the bottom of the plastic bag as well. There shouldn't be too much. I'm going to keep these moving just until they're lightly brown. Don't expect too much from that at this stage because you don't want it to burn on the bottom. This will just seal the meat slightly, preparation for the addition of the vegetables. Okay, our meat hasn't got any moisture clinging to it now, and the flour is starting to cook onto the bottom of the pan. It's time to add our vegetables. So with our chunks of potato and all of the rest of our vegetables, which does look a lot, they're mostly root vegetables, so they'll all take a similar amount of time to cook. Everything all at once, it's all good. A bit of a turn around so that all the vegetables are separated and mixed together. This is quite an economical dish and very healthy. Now it's in with our pepper, crumble our stock cube and the other one. And now our tinned tomatoes, including their juice. These are diced tomatoes. Now we're going to get an equal quantity of water to our tomatoes. Just use the same bowl and you can rinse the bowl out at the same time. And in with our water. In with our barbecue sauce, that will impart a little colour and a sweet flavour. Could of course use any sauce of your choice. And then we're going to turn the heat right down to a slow simmer once it's been brought to the boil. And just simmer it for at least an hour, checking it from time to time and giving it the odd stir. We'll adjust the seasonings. On with the lid, down with the heat. Now we've just given it another stir and we're going to add our bones. Now just remember we've got 4 bones here. They have a little bit of meat attached to them. We're just putting them in for flavour. We have to fish them out again. Okay, after an hour our lamb stew is cooked. I'm just going to fish through here and find these bones because they can't stay there. There's one. They're bigger than the rest of the meat pieces, so they're very easy to find. There's still a little meat on there. You can have a bit of a pick at that if you like. If you're too sharp to give it to your dog. See, it's quite rich. The vegetables have retained much of their shape. It's also thickened slightly. It smells really good. Okay, we're just going to test this for seasoning. That's very good. Just a little pinch of salt, nothing too serious, and turn it off. Stir that salt through. Serve that with some crusty bread, some pasta or some rice if you like. You've already got all the vegetables you could possibly want in there. And that'd probably feed 6 or more people on 2 chops. It's good value. Okay, we're just going to dollop some of this into our bowl, and that is a hearty meal. You can cook it ahead of time and eat it during the week, or even freeze a portion of it. If you'd like to see more interesting recipes and ideas, please check out my Cheeky Richo channel and please subscribe. Leave a comment, a recipe request, or perhaps just share an idea. Do come back and visit us again soon. We have so much more to show you. And thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day. Cheeky Richo's homemade lamb and vegetable stew. Have it with your homemade Cheeky Richo bread rolls and your homemade Cheeky Richo butter. Doesn't get much more wholesome and delicious and self-satisfying than that.